Hello, Ebony.
Hi. Deja.
Welcome to Talking with Deja Blaise. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for calling me, girl.
So, I know you from Rebel Theater, right?
Yes.
We did a show together a couple of years ago.
What year was it?
Was that 2015?
15?
It must have been. It was probably 15.
I think it was 15.
Blackfoot Notes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So that was 15.
Don't quote us.
I know, right? Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, but and so I know your journey a little bit starting from that point, but you've done so much since then and have had so many great accomplishments, and we need to talk about it. But I want to hear about your experience from the beginning. Like, what made you decide to even get into acting? I know you said you went to school for journalism. Like, what was the transition? So, to begin, where are you from?
To begin.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm from New Paltz, New York, which is like an hour and 45 minutes north of the city of Manhattan.
Yeah.
Grew up there, went to Ulster Community College for a semester.
Nice.
Studying journalism.
Okay.
Which they actually don't even have a journalism major in that school. I would have had to transfer after 2 years. Anyways, but I was going to do that. And I quickly realized after doing some on-camera stuff that I'm way too emotional about these stories I'm trying to tell. I just couldn't separate myself the way that I think a reporter would need to.
Right.
And what I wanted to do was like travel and cover news. Like I wanted to go to different countries and like learn myself and
be on the ground.
Yeah. I'm like, I can't be on the ground crying. I can't do that. It's not gonna work. So I was like, this is not for me. Before that, a few years before that, I want to say I was like 14 or so, I had done like an audition randomly. I always grew up in music, so I was very much so music heavy. Like I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna be a music major. I'm gonna do all this. And I just stumbled across acting through like a local class in my hometown, and then from there stumbled into an audition, which I was just like, I kind of just want to do it. I heard it on the radio actually.
Oh wow!
I heard about the audition on the radio back when I listened to the radio.
Was it the radio?
Yes. The little boombox. You ever had a boombox on your dresser?
Yes.
I had one. I had a nice one. But anyways, it played on the radio, and it was like the next city over from my hometown.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is fate.
Yeah.
You know when you just things happen, you're like, I gotta go.
The timing.
Like, I said, Ma, you gotta take me. She took me. From there, the audition took us to I think Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like for agents and stuff like that.
Okay.
It was one of those things.
Yeah.
And so I had like my little monologue prepared. I was like, this is what acting is. I got a monologue. I'm prepared. And I knew it and all that. But it wasn't until I did it in front of people that I really felt like with theater.
Yeah.
When you feel the energy of people that are in the room.
Yes.
That I just was like, oh, this is actually what it is.
Right.
And then from that point, I just got no callbacks, by the way. Not a single callback.
Which is what happened
from that, just so you know.
Yeah.
But from there, I was just like, I really want to be good at this.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I went back to my hometown, New Paltz, from Philadelphia, and went back to school. I don't even think anybody knew that I wanted to do this. I was just kind of, I'm a pretty private person, so I was just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Graduated early from high school, and then was like, okay, I gotta study. I gotta go study somewhere. Ended up going to the William Esper Studio here in Manhattan, which is a great 2-year conservatory. And didn't really hop back into auditioning until I was done with that. I had done a few things here and there, but like I really just was like, I just really want to learn what this whole thing is.
Right.
So did that, and then kind of, got into some feature films first, which is a little odd.
That's great.
And then went into all independents, went into shorts, and then got into a web series, which was my first show, called Tough Love on YouTube.
Yes.
Check it out because you're already on YouTube. And then a bunch of other stuff happened.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll backtrack a little bit.
I know, I didn't know where to cut it off. I was like, we're at the beginning, but now we're in the middle. And
right. So I guess you determined journalism wasn't maybe the right fit, but it was somewhere in that arena of, I guess, some sort of performative
I liked journalism because I liked the type of journalism that I wanted to do was more so about putting yourself in other people's shoes.
Yeah.
And so, for me, I just really, I don't want to say enjoyed. It kind of motivated me a little bit to learn to go outside myself.
Right.
And like, you know, I'm from like a small town. It's fairly safe. Like nothing really dramatic happens. Not that it's never happened, but like, on a consistent basis, it's a pretty safe place.
Right.
And so I kind of just felt like growing up, I was in a bubble. I grew up in a very, very religious household. I was raised a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, yes.
So I was in a very, you know, I had a very structured upbringing.
Yeah.
And to me, I was like, I know there's so much else out there.
Right.
So that's how I was like journalism, but I was always into writing. I was writing before I was singing. I was singing before I was acting, and so things just kind of, the lines started blurring in ways that made sense, and so I kind of just followed where it went.
So you were raised a Jehovah's Witness, and so your mom.
In a Jehovah's Witness household. Yes.
And so, and your mom was the Jehovah's Witness.
Mm-hmm. I grew up with my mother. My mother raised me.
Yeah.
My grandmother. Mm-hmm.
And so she was okay with taking you to the audition then? That was.
Yeah. No. You know what's so funny? Oh, it's so funny. I was like going through some old boxes one day. This is back when I was like, you know, home in high school.
Yeah.
She had wanted to be an actress.
Oh.
She had never ever told me. I like found a pamphlet from, I can't remember which school it was, the Academy of Dramatic Arts maybe or something, and I was like, what is this? Because at that time I was like, I want to do this. She said, oh yeah, remember when you were like this age and we were in the city for a little bit and this, that, and the third, and it was just so happened that she wanted to do it as well, and so it really did just kind of
come full circle a little bit.
Yeah, fumble into the next generation, basically. So she was very supportive. She was like, oh great, okay, so how are you gonna do it?
Right.
That's what she was concerned about.
Yeah. No, because that's fantastic, because when you said that, I was thinking to myself, there are a lot of, I guess, the structure within that community doesn't usually support.
I don't know that it doesn't support that. I wouldn't say that. I would just say that acting is a specific role to understand for anybody. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be religious. I mean, you can. What's a good example? You can be in a relationship, right, with somebody who's an actor. This is one that a lot of my friends have. You can be in a relationship with somebody who's an actor. You're not an actor, and certain things you have to do on screen. It's like you never allow it in real life.
Right.
Never. Right. But the thing is that acting is a separate world.
Right.
So it's just difficult for anybody. So
yeah.
It's not a religious thing. It's just it's that's not you, but you're doing things that you don't do. You know what I mean? And that's difficult for anyone to understand. Yeah, so it can become a little confusing. Exactly.
Yeah.
Blurred lines.
Right. Okay, so that's great. So you grew up with your mom and your grandmother, and they were both supportive of this decision. Mm-hmm. Okay, so then after you determined, okay, journalism is not the path for me, what was your first opportunity, I guess, that made you feel like, okay, this solidified acting, this is it?
It was probably my acceptance into the William Esper Studio.
Okay.
I was still upstate at the time. I want to say I started, they have like a fall start and a winter start, which is in January. I'm not sure if it's the same structure now. But I had started in January, so I had literally gotten accepted, and I didn't have a place to stay in the city yet. I was like, oh, hype because I got accepted, but I was like, wait a minute.
Wait, how am I going to do this?
Yeah. I didn't have a job in the city. Now looking back, I'm like, what was I thinking? But
motivation.
But yeah, and I commuted for like a year.
From
upstate.
Wow.
Every day.
And how long was that?
About an hour 45 one way.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. So I started school, and then I also got my first job in the city, which was at Applebee's on 42nd Street.
There you go.
Okay, stay humble. As a hostess. And then so I was commuting for work and school.
Wow.
Every day, 7 days a week.
That's amazing, because, I mean, as an actor, everyone has to get their survival job once they start.
You need a survival job.
Right. Something to bring in
for a roof.
Bring in income. Yeah. But so you were commuting back and forth, but did you feel like you were able to acclimate to the environment in the city? Because I know upstate is a little different from here. So did you feel like was it stressful, or did it in any way feel like it was like a deterrent?
It's stressful not being able to pay bills. I mean, that's stressful. That was something I had to learn to deal with. I'm not a city girl. I'm not a city girl even now. Like I prefer quiet. I prefer like a non-stressful environment. If I walk on the street right now, nothing is happening besides people hustling and bustling. That's stressful sometimes.
Yeah, right.
It just is. There's nothing. But like you get used to it, and you become whatever you need to become.
Right.
Luckily, I'm a New Yorker still, okay? Luckily, I'm a New Yorker still, because people don't know that. People are like, oh, you're from New York, you're from New York City, you're from Brooklyn, you're from the Bronx. I'm from New York State. Thank you. So I still got that hustle, is my point.
Right.
So, I mean, it was difficult to get used to a lot of things, but I don't think it was just a city.
Yeah.
Just like city life.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So then when you did that for a year, and when you came to New York, what was the push that was able to, that allowed you
the
to,
motivating
yeah.
factor?
Like, how'd you get?
Honestly, it was probably school. Like, I think going to a new place is difficult by itself, but going to a new place with no plan or no like agenda or nothing, no type of structure to like follow to get you to like tomorrow is very difficult. I work much better with structure. So for me, I had things to do. By the time I got here, I had a job. By the time I got here, I was already in school. I had, kind of built a community of friends within school.
Right.
Who I'm still friends with now.
Yes.
Shout out to all of you guys. And yeah, like I had things to keep me focused every day. I was busy every day.
Right.
So I was struggling, but I was still busy.
Yeah. And what about living situation? How did you figure that out?
So I think I've moved like maybe 4 or 5 times, and I've been in the city about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I moved every year. Basically, it was just whatever the next. Can I get a cheaper place? Can I sublet?
Right.
Am I rooming? Yes, I am rooming on the budget I had. Just all those things. What area? What neighborhood? I've lived in Harlem. I've lived in Brooklyn. I've lived in Queens. I just kind of, it was whatever I can afford at this time.
Right.
And usually I still couldn't afford it. But
you made it work.
I made it work.
Yeah. Okay, so you were at Esper, and I'm assuming that experience was
Yes.
pretty amazing. I took a few classes there, and I really enjoyed
You
it.
did?
Yeah.
What
Yeah, I didn't do the whole conservatory. And what year did you do that? That was
So I got to the city in 2014. That's when I started.
Okay, so I think I did it a little before that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I did it maybe, I don't know, but it was a little before that. But yeah, I took a few classes, so I know that the school is fantastic.
Yeah.
So when you graduated, what was the next step? Like, what was the thing that you did after graduation?
I actually didn't finish Esper.
Okay.
Fun fact. I didn't finish Esper, but I got through a lot of it. When I was finished, what did I do when I was finished? I was bouncing between survival jobs.
Yeah.
And I think I was auditioning. I was on Backstage.
Yeah.
I was on Actors Access.
Yeah.
I was on, different things like that, and just applying for different things. I think I've done like 1 or 2 student films. I was just, just trying to just get in rooms and see what I could learn from it and whatnot. And yeah, that's all I was focused on.
Right. So I guess what made you decide to not complete the program? Because I know for some people.
Oh, it wasn't a decision. I just didn't have the money.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a money thing.
Right.
And by the time that I had the money, I was in the middle of shooting other things, and I was doing the thing that I was going to school to do.
Right.
And so, as much as I wanted to go back, because I really wanted to go back, and I had planned to, time-wise, it wasn't feasible.
Yeah.
To give all of the attention that you need to, because you need to really, if you're going to be studying,
right,
you need to, be committed to that. And I think that's why really auditioning during wasn't really the best thing to do. I mean, if you have big auditions, great, but if you're just going in for smaller things,
right,
just focus on what you're doing.
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna ask. Maybe an opportunity presented itself. Because I know some people try to determine.
It's not what happened.
But true. Yeah.
I wish.
So getting opportunities were through pretty much the online sites, the Backstage, the
online sites,
Actors Access, and I'm assuming maybe Actors Connection, going in.
Yeah, I had done some seminars at Actors Connection, which I saw you at a few times too. Did you ever reach for me?
I don't think so. No. I don't think you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I did see you
yeah.
a few times. Actors Connection, one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
Did a few things through there. And yeah, just getting in rooms and meeting, casting directors if I could. And,
right.
I was not really signed until the end of last year. So
yeah,
it was a lot of things I was trying to do. And I actually wasn't even looking for representation when I got it, but it just so happened that through networking and meeting one person and word of mouth and that's kind of how it came about.
Right.
So it was very organic.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning of that. So you left Esper, you started going out on opportunities. Now, I'm assuming the agent came a little later. What was the opportunity that you had after leaving school that kind of propelled you into the next thing?
That led to that?
Yeah, I mean, because I know you did Tough Love, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
But what was the thing before Tough Love? I know we did theater. Like, what were some of the highlights of things that you did that you felt like, I'm working, I'm an actor?
Tough Love is in its 3rd season.
Yes.
I'm still trying to
that time flew by.
Yeah, it did. I'm literally trying to remember what I did right before. I think I had done some short films. The first film that I ever did that I felt like was like really a film.
Yeah.
That made me feel like, oh, this is the type of work I'm gonna do. Was called Traces, a post-traumatic love story.
Yes.
It's not online or anything like that. I think hopefully at some point we'll return to that. But that was before Tough Love.
Yeah.
And I think I did another very short film.
Wasn't there something
Pumpkin Pie? That was that was before.
Yeah.
I'm not that old. I'm not that old. I should not have the same problem. It's only a very small time span, but maybe that's why I'm having trouble.
Because you've done a lot in a short period of time.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
But no, Pumpkin Pie, which was by Alan J. Redmayne, a very good friend of mine, a very talented director and writer.
Yes.
And Erin Sanderson, a very, very excellent actress. I'm not gonna shout everybody out, but you guys are all dope.
Right.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah. Right.
That was a lot. That was a short film. That kind of went to the festival circuit a little bit. That was also another film that was like, oh, this is the type of work that I do. Not in terms of exactly what it was about.
Right.
It's not so much a content thing, but just a importance thing.
Right.
Like what type of roles and what's like the overall message and that type of thing. That was definitely one of those films.
Yeah. And being able to, I guess, shed light on certain subjects.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, okay, now Tough Love. Now, tell us about that whole experience. Like, what was it like getting the audition? Where did you find the audition? What was the audition process like? What was it like when you booked it? Like, what was the entire process from the beginning? Because that's been, like you said, the 3rd season, so it's been a good portion of time that you've spent dedicated to the show.
Yeah, the longest I've spent with any one character.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. So, I think all of our audition processes for, like, all of the major characters was very different. I know for me, they reached out to me via social media.
Oh, nice.
Which is like when I was like, oh, social media does this too.
Right, the network. Right.
So they reached out to me for an audition to come in. I don't remember how many days later it was, but I just remember thinking like, I'm not gonna go in for an audition that somebody reached out to me for on social media. It just sounds sketchy. It just sounds sketchy.
Right, especially if you don't really know.
You gotta be careful.
You
gotta be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Watch where you go audition and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, don't be so pressed for opportunities that you go to someone's house. That's a big thing. I used to get a lot of auditions like that.
Really?
Faces come to my house and like.
Maybe not.
Yeah, no.
Because you never know. Like it could be.
You
legit,
don't.
It could not be. You don't want to risk.
It's not worth it.
Sometimes.
It's not worth it. So I went in for that audition and I think it was at Ripley Grier, the other location, not 5.
Not the one.
Not on 8th Avenue.
8th Avenue.
The other one.
Okay. Yeah.
Auditioned for that, and then I want to say, I could be wrong, that it was the same day, like later on that same day, or maybe the next day, that they reached out and were like, we'd love to, have you as Alicia on Tough Love, and we're going to start filming this weekend, or something like that. I'm pretty sure it was like a few days after.
Like it was quick.
And we were like, okay. So it was like running gun. Like the first season especially. The second and third season was much more, not relaxed, but just like, okay, we know what we're doing.
Right.
The first season was like, okay, tomorrow, okay.
Right.
Yeah, it was very like, and so, and we did it, and it was a great script, and, we all really got to know each other the first season especially, but, and I'll just speak for myself, I was thinking, this is going to be great footage for my reel. That's it. Like, that's all I was thinking. I was just like, that's it. That's all it's going to be. But then it came out, and people really started taking to it.
Right.
like people outside the city, people outside the country.
Yeah.
And it really just caught on. I was shocked. Not shocked because it wasn't worth it, but just shocked that I was a part of something that was like that.
From the beginning.
From the beginning, right.
Yeah. And the way that you got it. I mean, because it's so interesting because I know you and Natalie, we done a show, the
Blackfoot
Notes, I think maybe a couple of months before. Because I feel like it was the same year.
Did we start talking about in 2015?
Was it? I don't know, but I think it was the same year of Blackfoot Notes because that's when I started seeing the advertisement. And I was like, oh my gosh, Natalie and Ebony are in this production. This is so cool.
My concept of time is so wrong.
No, but you've done so much, so it feels like it's probably over a longer period of time. But no, I mean, it's fantastic to be able to see that both of you were in it at the same time after having just done a production together. Yeah. And I'm pretty, and do you know?
And it's a small acting world too, especially in I don't know how LA is, but in New York, it's like, we work with people again and again. Yep. You sit down on a talk show.
Hello.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
So okay, after the first season, I guess you guys were able to see how the show was being
progressing and received.
Right. And so what was the next, I guess, you were working on other things, I'm assuming, maybe outside of it, maybe not as much.
You know, it's funny, I have not shot a single season of Tough Love without shooting something at the same time.
Okay.
And it's extremely unfortunate.
Yeah.
Every time, this season came and I was like, yes, I'm gonna have, all this time
to
sleep. And, no. Every season, it's very, very, unfortunate.
That's a blessing.
You know what? But I have downtime now. Why couldn't I have just...
Right.
You know what I mean?
Spread it out a little bit.
Sleep's good. Going into the second season, so it was received very well, and so the second season was, very much so okay, how can we up the bar? How can we make this a better quality for people?
Yeah.
How can we make the story better? Where can we go with these stories?
Yeah.
It's written by Ronnie Simpson and directed by Caleb Davis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Ronnie Simpson, they're married now.
Yes, they are.
Ronnie Davis, he's gonna kill me for saying that. He's gonna kill me. Your wife.
They are married.
Yes. So, and then raising the funds. How are we gonna,
Right.
How are we gonna raise the funds to make this all that it can be? And that was the same thing going into the third season was, the same thing. Is how can we make it better?
Yeah. I mean, but you guys had so much support, even to the extent of the Emmys. You were nominated for a Daytime Emmy Award. That was amazing.
It was.
So tell us about that process. I guess first when you learned that you guys were nominated, what was that whole process like?
Well, the process was amazing. We didn't know that they submitted us, so we weren't waiting.
Yeah.
For you're nominated.
Who's they?
The creators.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they did submit. Okay.
Yeah. They submitted, and then we just got a little group text because we group text since season 1.
Yeah, that's cute.
Hey, congratulations! You guys were nominated for a Daytime Emmy and we're like, what is she? Is she okay? Is this person okay?
Right.
I don't remember what time of day it was, but I was like, is anyone drinking? What's happening
right
right now? But lo and behold, we were nominated for Daytime.
Yes. So, and did they tell you guys what that process was like? They just submitted and kind of just let it go and thought, okay.
I didn't ask actually exactly what the process was, so I'm not sure. Now
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna ask because I would like to know. But no, it was. I want to say it was a few months before April, because that's when the Daytime Emmys were in LA. And we all got to go out there, which was great.
Yes, which is also, I want to know a little bit more about that too.
Yeah, we were out there for about a week.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what the presents were. So the creators are from LA.
Yeah.
So I had no idea what the presents for Tough Love fans were out there, because we had a pre-Daytime Emmy party where we just invited our fans.
Right.
And a lot of people were there. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense, though. Because they're from LA, but also there are people who, didn't know any of us, who came out to support. And it was just a lot of positive energy.
Yeah.
And, then the next day was the actual Daytime Emmys.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't win. But it's, exactly. I don't even know. I don't have to look at you to know.
Yeah.
It didn't really matter that we didn't win the award, because we had so much support, like, leading
You
up
were
to that
there.
moment. And then even it gave us more motivation to come back with more content because at the end of the day, like, people are interested in these stories, in these lives, in these beautiful Black individuals in this world of New York City, and like that's really all that matters.
Yeah.
So.
And were you guys able to do, I'm assuming, press during that? Was that part of the process where you guys doing
during
interviews? Yeah, during the week that you were there. Cause I saw something you guys had some interviews with other individuals. So was that part of? Was it like a scheduled list of events to go through for that?
I think like basically all like press stuff for all 3 seasons, including that week was like there's always like stuff going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I do not recall looking at a schedule.
Right. No,
probably a text like be here at this time.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah.
But you guys were busy, like
we were busy. It was a busy
show
week.
while you were there.
It was a busy week.
And what was it like when you were on the red carpet?
It was nice. It was a very red carpet. It was a very red carpet.
Did it feel like?
But it was LA, and it was my first event.
Yeah.
No, being from the city, but being from New York. Sorry. It was my first red carpet event out in LA, so it was good.
So what was the red carpet experience like?
It was dope. It was a very red carpet.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a lot of people like that are involved with events like that. It was my first big LA event like that.
Yeah.
So I got to really see how things worked, which was cool. It was nice to be there as a nominated team.
Yes.
Like that was, I'm sure the experience would be much different if it wasn't that.
Yeah.
One, I probably wouldn't be there. But they probably wouldn't have invited me.
Right, well.
But, no, it was dope. I mean, we met a lot of people that week, too. Just people who, you know, we didn't know supported the show. People who were excited to see us go and be nominated and represent, you know, people they feel like aren't represented enough on, you know, a scale like that.
Exactly.
So it was really dope.
Okay, and so red carpets, I always think of them, I'm like, I see people on red carpets and they're either excited, they're happy, they're exhausted, they're hungry. Like, what was your red carpet experience?
On the complaint side, I'll say I was hungry.
Yeah.
I'll say it was very hot that day. It was a beautiful LA day for the beach.
Right.
So, that. But stressful, I don't know that it was stressful. I was very excited.
Yes.
I was very excited just to be recognized, for Tough Love to be recognized.
Right.
And just be up against categories that are, you know, we're a YouTube show.
Yeah.
We were the only YouTube show that was nominated.
I didn't even know that was possible.
It was like Amazon, I think it was like Amazon, Netflix, if I'm not mistaken, in our category. So, you know, we were up against shows that really had a major network support. Right. Which, to me, I'm like, okay, we've already accomplished something that's far grander than like, okay, give me a piece of it.
Yeah.
So that would have been nice. But yeah.
Right, but just the opportunity, the experience of being there, in a nomination, I'm sure, must have propelled the show into the next
season 3
level. So what was, I guess, what were the positive effects of getting this nomination and even being on Amazon? Like, you guys have the first season, I think, is on Amazon, isn't it?
No.
No?
No. It's on YouTube. It's always been on YouTube.
I'm pretty sure on Amazon Prime.
Girl, look it up right now. Tell me.
We're gonna get back to. Well, no. We're gonna get back. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in like a little caption to see if it is there.
As far as I know, we're only on. Unless it was another show called Tough Love. Unless it was another like something called Tough Love. No, it's always been on YouTube.
I'll put a little caption to see, because I might be wrong, but I'll put a little caption. But okay, so what was the next? I guess the next step, like after that, you guys came back. All right, you were nominated. You had the red carpet experience of being in the room. I'm assuming you must have met some amazing people while you were there.
Sure.
So the networking was, I'm assuming, another part of
the networking was a major part of that whole week out there.
Yeah.
And like we did that. So you know, I think going to season 3, it definitely helped in terms of bringing it to a wider audience that it would not have been in front of at all, because our fan base is so strong right now, and it's like so beautiful. Yeah. Like, it just really is. But the daytime Emmy nomination put it in front of people who wouldn't have clicked on it on YouTube. you know, for whatever the reason is.
Yeah.
They just wouldn't have thought to.
Right.
And now they're kind of like, okay, well, what is this? What
Yeah.
is this tough love? And so that was also a big win of that. So yeah.
And so are you at liberty to say, like, who are some of the people that you felt like, okay, this is great, getting to know this person, having this network is going to really help the show and help careers? Like, what opportunities happen with those?
There was a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a liberty thing. I think it's in terms of like there was just a lot of people
that
we met, and also there were points in time where, you know, we weren't always together as a whole team. Mm-hmm. So networking went beyond just networking for the show. Networking definitely went to, like, you know, each individual going out and kind of being able to do whatever LA was offering at the moment.
Exactly.
I'll put it that way. So yeah, no, it was a lot to do in 1 week.
Yeah.
But in a good way. You should be busy in that way, if anything.
Yes.
So, yeah.
As an actor, it's always good to be busy, especially in those types of environments.
Yep.
Okay, so then now season 3. Now what were the differences, I guess, now that it's post-Emmy? Mm-hmm. What did you feel? Anything changed? Like, were you guys able to get better funding? Mm-hmm. Production value? Like, I know the YouTube
production
studio
value definitely has raised.
Helps. Yeah.
Yeah, YouTube is very supportive as well.
Yeah.
No, the production value, I think, is definitely better this season. Mm-hmm. It was great, you know, both seasons prior, but it gets better every season, which is really exciting, not just for, you know, the fans to see, like, oh my God, this content is getting better, and it's still on YouTube, but it's still getting better.
Right.
But it's exciting for us, too, because it's like being able to bring quality work, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's so many great stories out there, but if they don't have the proper representation in terms of aesthetics, and, you know, sound, like all of that, they fall short in terms of the recognition they deserve.
Right.
Because there's so many short films, you know, indie feature films, even, that I'm like, wow, this would be so epic. This could be picked up. This could be on Netflix if it had, you know, what it needs.
Right. Yeah, because production value does play a part.
And it's hard to get. It's hard to get.
Yeah, and it's expensive.
Really, it's expensive. It's hard to get anything like this up off the ground.
Yes.
Yeah. For anyone. So, I mean, that's what it is. For anyone who's a filmmaker, a director, a writer, an actor, anything, it's like, you're gonna struggle, but keep pushing your stories forward, because your stories are the first part of the quality.
Right.
The second part of the quality is, you know, the funding. The third part is, like, how it all comes together. Like, your team, everything.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why also having it recognized was also, like, it was hard.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know what to say.
So you feel like the efforts are actually paying off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now season 3, you guys, I'm guessing, just finished wrapping season 3, right? When does that premiere?
That has premiered. We're on episode 2 just... Okay, this is... Fast forward. We're, like, almost done with the season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, but I thought you just finished wrapping the season.
Well, right now, today's date is December 17th.
Yes.
Right? And this is airing a little bit later. So, at this point, I'm not sure which date it'll be, but at this point, we're at least halfway through the season.
Oh, well, yes. Yeah. Oh, yes, by the time it airs, of course, yeah. Oh, I thought you meant, like, now. Let's say,
no,
wow.
I was trying to do the math in my head. I was like, I don't know. I really don't know.
I was thinking, it's done already. What did I miss?
No,
okay. I understand now. Okay, yeah. So then, do you have any other things that you're working on?
I just wrapped a feature film.
Nice.
Yes. I just wrapped a feature film a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, we're going to get back to that. Uh-huh. But one thing, you were on a Netflix series.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience on Master of None? Now, I also want to know from the beginning, Master of None with Aziz Ansari.
And Lena Waithe.
Yes, who has a new series out as well. Tell us from the beginning, what was it like getting the audition? How did you get the audition? Mm-hmm. What was the audition process like? Once you booked it, what was that like? And then being on set, because I love, like, the whole story. Like, this is,
No, it was epic. So I got the audition through my representation.
Yeah.
I want to say we shot it at the end of 2016. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was November, maybe not.
Yeah.
So sometime before that, like weeks before that.
Yeah.
I had auditioned. I felt good about it. It was like one of those auditions you can go in and I was just like, okay, it is what it is.
Right.
Like, I'm okay. I'm okay. You know?
Yeah.
And then I had like to leave for LA, I think the next week.
Mm-hmm.
And I had like a bunch of stuff going on over there, but I was still like, what's up?
Right.
Like, have we heard anything?
Yeah.
And we haven't.
Okay.
So, I was under the impression for several weeks after that I hadn't booked it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came back to New York, and I went in to go visit my manager, and he was just like, yeah, so pretty much. And I was like, oh, by this point, my mind was so far past the point of like, you don't have the role.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh.
Oh, so you went in and he just told you.
Yeah,
you got it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it was one of those things where like, you know, once you put something like, it's not mine.
Right.
You're like, it's not mine.
You're not thinking about it.
You're not thinking about it. But then he let me know. I was very excited. I think we were going to be shooting in like 2 weeks from the time he told me, something like that. So go in for like fittings and things like that, and meet Lena, who is so sweet, so talented, and just so open to having, you know, new people on the show. It's kind of not that it's stressful, but it's always different going into something that's already established. Like the show's already been established, the cast is already established.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody was so open. Aziz, everybody was so open. And I really appreciated that, especially being that it was my first large project in terms of TV.
Yeah.
So it wasn't stressful. Maybe it should have been, but it wasn't stressful. It was also comedy. It was also my first comedy.
Yeah.
Ever.
Nice.
Ever. I was like, ooh, this is going to be fun.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it was interesting. And then Angela Bassett was playing her mother, which we
gotta focus a little bit on that one.
I'll just add on to that. Nobody told me she was playing her mother.
Yeah.
I found out.
Like the day of?
No, I found out before.
Oh, okay.
I found out via this thing called the internet. The internet just popped up and was like, she's cast as, and I was like, oh wow, look at that. Yeah.
I mean, Angela, right? Miss Bassett. This woman is an icon. An absolute icon. And not only did you get to work with her, but you had a one-on-one scene with her.
Yeah.
Please share with us what that was like.
It was exactly what you think it was like.
Blessed. A blessed experience.
Yeah. But you know, she's directing a lot and producing a lot and stuff like that. And she was very much so like a guiding force for me, I feel like, in that particular episode, in that particular scene. That scene was actually added the day before we shot it.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't originally in the script.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't originally in the script. And when I got it, I was like, oh.
That's what?
It was definitely one of those feelings where you're like, oh, it was already what it was when you were working in the scene with everybody.
Yeah.
And then it became, you know, a scene where I'm working with someone who I literally grew up watching.
Yes.
So I had to kind of be outside of it, I felt like. Yeah. It wasn't really until I finished that I was like, oh, that's where I just was.
Then you can take it all in.
Yeah, but no, I mean, she's like, her whole energy is just, she's 100% in everything that she does. And it's just like, okay, well, I have to be too.
Right.
So you have no choice.
Exactly.
Like, now I understand what people mean when they say, like, I didn't have to do that much because I was working with so-and-so and because they just, like...
Yeah, your scene partner.
Yeah. Like, now I understand what that means.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it now.
That's so amazing. So, not only that, now, so you're on the show, you get the show, you work with Angela Bassett, and then the show is, not just the show, though, your episode.
Our episode, Thanksgiving.
Was nominated.
Yeah, for Best Writing in Comedy.
And won.
And then it did.
Yes!
Yeah.
I mean, what was that like? Because I remember watching and thinking, oh my gosh, this is it. Like, what came over you? Because to me, it's like you get the opportunity and you're just happy for the opportunity. But what was it like now knowing, okay, this is actually impacting others now. It's not just, you know, a personal experience.
It's like the episode was so beautifully structured because it was based on her actual experience. And I knew that it was going to be an important episode.
Yeah.
And it is one of my favorite episodes, not because I'm in it, but because it's so important. Like,
yeah.
And it's not something you see every day in television, especially, or even in film.
Right.
Or at least not in film that's mainstream.
Right.
And so I knew it was going to be important. And when it was nominated, I kind of wasn't surprised. Only because it was just very natural. Like, everything about it was very natural.
Yeah.
It was that experience.
Right.
Or what I would assume would be that experience. And while I was shooting it, it felt authentic all the way through.
Right.
So I was like, somebody's gonna, you know, when you think somebody's gonna feel this.
Yes.
But I just didn't know how many people.
Right.
But when it did, I was like, okay, it deserves that. So
it was a beautiful episode. I mean, the entire season. Of that
episode
show.
Episode 6 is one of my favorite episodes.
Which one was that? Which the title? Or maybe not the title.
Is it I Love You, New York? Maybe
yes.
Maybe it's not I Love You, New York.
The different individuals.
Yeah, that was such a powerful episode.
Yeah, I mean,
the whole season was great, but they're you know,
they did amazing work on that show, and so to be acknowledged and honored for the wonderful work, and then to be a part of it, such a blessing.
It is. No, it is. Honestly, God is real.
Yeah.
God is. What do we used to say all the time?
What?
When we were not shooting. I'm sorry. We were doing.
When the struggle is
God is good.
All the time.
That was our mantra.
All the time, God
doing
is good.
our show.
Yeah.
That was our mantra.
Yes.
Shout out Lamar, because he still says that to me today.
Yeah, Lamar. We had Lamar on here too.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
When?
Amazing. When we were out in LA. Well, I was out in LA.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I mean,
I was
Lamar,
like, he's here. I'm about to kick his butt.
Jordan, like everyone's just doing
Jordan.
amazing work. And I'm just so filled with joy to know that, like,
to watch people that you work with. And
the growth, and to know that it's real, that it's possible, that you put the time, the effort, the energy in, and this is what we get, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we're still working on it.
It's always a work in progress, but it's good to see.
It's good to be on a path that you feel like is what you should be doing.
Yes.
No matter what it is.
Yeah. Okay, so did you mention anything else you have coming up? I want to plug whatever. Because you say you have a movie. Can you talk about it?
So I finished a feature a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And it is based on a really incredible book called If Beale Street Could Talk by James Baldwin.
Guys, this is my first time hearing this information,
It is. It's the first time saying this information.
Wait a minute. Okay, so what's the role? I guess what's your...
I don't know if I want to say that.
Okay, you don't want to say that. That's okay. Just whatever you feel comfortable saying.
But it's directed by Barry Jenkins.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yes.
And very much so.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I wish I could be as hype as you, but I'm really calm right now. I don't know why.
It's that peace that comes.
Amazing.
Yes.
It is.
Oh my goodness.
It's amazing. So I don't know when that's coming out.
Yeah.
Hopefully sometime next year, 2018. Maybe.
Okay. Tell us now, once again, because I need to know all the details.
Oh, yeah.
From the beginning, what was how'd you get it?
Mm-hmm.
What was the audition process like? When you actually got it, what was that like? And then being on set.
Yeah, no, the cast is incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I don't want to say who I'm working with because that might give away who
Right, yeah.
But I'm working with people again that I literally grew up being like, oh, like,
this is it's so crazy.
It was a lot, trust me. But this is probably the longest audition process I ever had.
Yeah.
It was about like 3 months, I want to say.
Oh, well, you went in multiple times.
Yes.
Okay, let's start from the beginning though. Like, how'd you get the audition?
I got the audition through my agent.
Okay.
And obviously knew about James Baldwin. I hadn't read this book, so I went out absolutely before the audition.
Yes.
Got the book, read the book, was completely like, I have to be a part of this project.
Yes.
Went in, auditioned initially, and from there it was some callbacks and some back and forth for about 2-3 months.
Okay.
It was I was pretty sure I wasn't gonna be it was I was pretty much sure I wasn't gonna be a part of the project, and I wasn't okay with that.
Right.
Like it wasn't the type of project that I could have been like, all right, it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I would have needed like half a year to get over it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Then I got a text message because we text from my agent saying that I got it like 9:00 at night. A few weeks before, yeah, like 3 or 4 weeks before we actually
started filming,
right? And again, it was one of those things where I was just so far like from the project in terms of like it's not mine.
Yeah.
That I was just like, thank you so much. Send. It was, and then it was, obviously that's my mom.
Yeah.
I told, a few close friends, and it was like, oh, okay, click, click, click. Yeah, this is what it is. And again, it was. I'm very excited to see the film.
Okay, I still need more details though. So this audition
what do you
process.
want, Deja?
I want to know, like, because auditions they're tough because I know, like, you just never know, like, do they like me? Do they not like me? But to go in multiple times, they're kind of like, all right, there's something happening. Now, was there like what was each process like? Did you have like a chemistry read or? Because I know usually initially it's just a casting director.
Yeah.
So the different phases, I know there's like production. You have to go, pretty much to the top at some point before you get cast.
It's funny because the more that I auditioned for it, the more I thought I wasn't gonna get the part.
Really?
I was like, okay, I don't really understand. But it was my first time going through that many steps.
Exactly.
Of anything.
Yeah.
But so the first one was obviously casting director,
right?
Cindy Tolan.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. If ever this video makes it to your eyes,
please.
Literally, she really, really, really pushed for me.
Yeah.
I love her for that.
Yeah.
Went in for her, and then just sidebar. Funny because the first time I met her was an audition right before that, and I completely bombed it. Like completely. It was the first time meeting her. I was like, first impression done, done. And then I went in for that, and so I was like, okay, little bit of redemption.
Yeah, you can relive
a little bit. So went in for her for that, and then the second one was I read with different people, but it wasn't chemistry. It wasn't. Okay. It was, I think, more so just to change the feel of certain things. I spoke with Barry over the phone, and it was like one of those things where, hey, Barry wants to talk to you.
And you weren't sure yet?
It's like, about what? Talking to me about what?
Oh my
gosh. It was like, yeah. And so I talked to him, and then after that, it was going again for like a Skype type of audition with him and do casting and stuff like that. Yeah. And then it was a lot of waiting. Right. It was a lot of waiting. It was a lot of, checking in, trying to figure out, okay, well, are they leaning this way? Are they leaning that way? I think this is the only project I ever checked on.
You're like following up.
Where I like legitimately was like following up, like, okay, but which way is the pendulum swinging?
Right.
Right now? Like, what do you know the direction? Yeah. And literally, I think maybe like the day or 2 days after I like let it go and was like, it'll come or it won't. Right. I got the news. Oh. So, yeah. And it's a powerful story. It's such a powerful story. If you're not familiar with the story, it is the story of really is a story of a young 19-year-old African American girl in Harlem, born and raised, and she has a lover who ends up getting falsely imprisoned for a crime he didn't do. Which in America, right? There's a lot of young men, black men especially, who that happens to. But the thing is that she is now pregnant with his child, and so it's a beautiful, beautiful story because she's young. She's a young teen mom, about to be. Yeah. Which I didn't realize how many stereotypes that I had personally about young teen moms, black teen moms, and I had no idea. And reading the book, I really was able to reflect and say, okay, but you don't know where someone comes from, right? She's a young woman who has so much support from her family, which in some cases not everyone does. Right. And the story is just beautiful. I could literally go on about it, but it's different than anything you've ever seen. Yeah. And the book is fantastic, so if you get a chance to read it before then, read it. But yeah, so that. And then, so you got the role. Got the role. Now you're on set. Okay. Yeah, I'm on set. Yeah, I know, right? Like, yeah.
Oh, it's step by step. Okay, so what was that like? Because now you're on set, and I know you're probably not gonna say all the people you're working with, but you're probably working with some amazing individuals. So what was that experience like?
It should have been very intimidating, but it wasn't.
No,
because I was working with people who have done it for such a long time and were so comfortable in themselves and also what they had to offer to scenes and things that it was an incredible experience. Like it was. I'm sad it's over for now. But no, I really, really had a strong support system. Yeah. And I'll be able to say exactly what that was later.
Yes, later.
But
which is fine.
I really had people that really, really really supported me. Oh. And it was shocking because it was all people who have been doing it for so long. Right. Like, you don't have to do this.
Right, but they see you and they want to make sure that they give back. Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing when you have like really good actors who are also giving back to those coming up
because
behind them.
anything that you do in terms of TV, film, or theater, it's collaborative. Unless it's a one woman or a one man show, it's collaborative. Yeah. And how impactful and everything that it is dependent on how you work together. So I'm excited.
I'm so excited.
I want to know when it comes out too. Yeah. So if you find out before I do, let me know.
We will inform you.
But yeah.
Now, was it a long process? Like, were you shooting? Yeah,
was it? I wasn't sure for a very short period of time. Okay. Everything was very much so condensed.
Yeah, it was condensed.
Yes.
I'm so excited for you.
Oh my excited too. Gosh! Are you gonna cry? No,
not yet. I mean, no. But it's just, it's so lovely how these opportunities are presenting themselves, and you're ready. Like you're so ready. So I look forward to all the other things to come because. I don't know. I love seeing people I know. Like it's one thing to just be able to know someone's journey, but so knowing you personally, it's like, you're doing it.
I'm not the only one who's doing it, Deja. I'm about to turn this on you right now. Like I said, I went to school for journalism. Right. I'm about to do a Deja version of this whole thing in just a minute.
No, it's not about me. This is all about you. And okay. So we will be able to talk more about that when it comes out or when it's being promoted.
Yeah, when it's being promoted. Probably.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're gonna put that on hold.
And we'll get together anyways and we'll talk about it. Yes. Off camera.
Right. Off camera. I'll take a little bit about it though. What else do you have happening? Is it because I know right now this is like your downtime. You're able to
it's the holiday season.
Yeah. And so do you have anything like coming up in the future that you're like, all right, I want to be able to plug this a little bit besides Tough Love and besides the new movie?
Well, yes, I mean, Tough Love is still going on. Yeah, up through February, I believe. Yeah. So that, but right now I'm soaking up the holiday season and getting some things ready for 2018. Yeah. Actually, nothing acting related. Oh, okay. So nothing really to plug until it comes. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, so what is your world outside of acting? Like because I know a lot of times when we're pursuing it, it's like our all-encompassing, right? But then once you're actually doing more work, you can actually focus on other parts of life. So do you have, what are some things that you're enjoying right now that may not necessarily be acting related? Well, writing. Writing is something that I was doing before I was acting. So having downtime means having time to like sit and write. Right. Ideas and things that I haven't seen yet. Pick up on things that I put down like years ago. Yeah. Work with people that I've had a chance to work with over the past few years. And now it's like, okay, well, I actually don't always want to be in front of the camera. So, yeah. Yeah. So getting into, I'm writing something, co-writing 2 things right now. Nice. For hopefully 2018. Yeah. But doing that, outside of acting, outside of anything, entertainment related, probably I've been going to a lot more events that are based in like I don't know how to sum it up. I'm trying to find words to sum up what I'm thinking. Yeah. Sorry. But just getting more involved in actual UNICEF work, for example. Okay. UNICEF is like, I can say that word and you kind of understand what I mean. Yeah. UNICEF included. But things like that, things like
charitable.
Yeah, I don't want to say charitable. Just being more aware of the things that are happening around me and trying to get involved in ways that I can get involved.
Right.
Even if it's just knowing what's happening and sharing that.
Yeah.
Or actually being on the ground.
Right. Yes.
As you said earlier.
Yeah.
But not,
Yeah.
So just stuff like that. I mean, I feel like this year I've done a lot of things this year in terms of like entertainment, but I've also done a lot of growing on my own.
Yeah.
And just understood a lot more things about myself. Sometimes through the projects that I've done.
Yeah.
Other times just through like my own life experience. And I don't know, I'm just learning things about myself I never knew before.
Yeah.
Never knew.
And that's part of the process too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't, that's the thing, like, I'm always stunned by young actors, like child actors.
Yeah.
Who, like, you see them and they're so in tune with human experience,
Mm-hmm.
but they've only been on Earth for, like,
Yeah.
a good 5-6 years. And you're like, wait a minute.
Like, how are you able to channel that?
Yeah. Because, you really do have to, like, live through things a lot of times to, or just have a deep sense of empathy for human beings and just.
So, you've given us a few tidbits of things that you've been learning over the years, but for the budding actors and even successful actors, people who are in the business and they're working and they're looking to make progress, what's some advice that you would give based on your experience so far?
Honestly, persistence. I mean, persistence, and also you like learning how to balance your life.
Yeah.
Like everything, finances and just life, like actually living. Also, don't forget to live outside of whatever if you're an actor or an actress and you're chasing, the next audition, the next role, whatever it is, that's great. Like determination is great, ambition is great, drive is great, all that's great. But don't forget to live also. Right. I think that's something that I've learned because I do all the time is I forget to live outside of what I'm doing, which is actually my real life,
right?
Which is the thing that that's why I'm here,
right?
But to learn how to balance your life first, and it'll change. Balance will change because new things will come in and just change things and shape things and new opportunities and new obstacles and whatever it is will come your way. But at the very end of the day, if you have kind of a formula that works for you, and know that not everybody's formula works for you, you have to have your own formula. I think that's like the beginning of getting a little bit of your sanity back so that you can actually, deliver whenever you need to deliver. And be proud of your work and don't be so judgmental. Also, I think as actors we do that. Yeah. We judge ourselves. Yeah. We judge ourselves out of a job even sometimes. Like before we even book something, we're already, judging ourselves out of the role. Right. And it's like, just take the ego out of everything and just do it. Yeah. Hashtag just do it. Hashtag just do it. Just do it. Okay, and so last question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I have no idea. Well, not necessarily just, because I know for some of us, with this acting community, you just really never know what the next step is. But I guess not only acting related, but also personally, what are your goals? So it may not necessarily be something that you want in a year or two, but right now, what are your goals for the next 5 years? Personal or acting related? What do you want to feel accomplished in? I want a dog. First, I want a dog because I deserve a dog. Yes. A big dog, like a blue-nosed pit. I want a dog. I don't want a keychain dog. I want a big dog. Okay. Yeah. That sounds like a lot of responsibility too. I want the space for a big dog. Right. What else? 5 years. Okay. I want to be able to, be a 100% actor. No side jobs, because even now I have side jobs. I won't say what they are. But I have side jobs now. I have side hustles now. And it's good for times like this. But the goal is to be doing what you want to be doing 24/7 and make full time from it. Exactly. I want to be, I don't know, personally, I'll probably have more balance in my personal life. Have more of a grasp on exactly what I just advised you guys to have. More balance. More peace. Yeah. You know, I have a lot of peace right now.
Yeah.
I think.
You're like an innately peaceful person. You are.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me, just so you know.
Yeah, you exude this really peaceful nature. Like, I can only imagine that going forward, like, just how you are in a room will be a reason for someone to cast you in certain types of roles, because you just have a certain type of presence. And that's beautiful. Like, you come in and there's just a presence there.
Thank you. You're welcome. Second nicest thing you've ever said to me in my entire life.
On a roll.
No, but I mean that, and there's like a time and place. I can be very calm, but
Yeah.
I can be the complete polar opposite.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? But I mean, listen, I'm human.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just balance and a dog and
Yeah.
maybe a couple more cats.
There you go.
Maybe a husband. I don't know.
Right.
How's married life? Plan life?
Oh, she's trying to switch it up on me now. Married life is good.
You've been married for how long now?
A year.
A year.
A year.
You're not tired of me?
No.
No one watch this.
That would suck after 1 year, right?
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
mean,
great. It's great. It's exactly what you were talking about, being able to maintain a balance and having a life outside of
He's
our
not
life.
an actor, right?
No, he's not an actor. But at the same time, when you're pursuing a goal, it's nice to have someone there who's supporting you, because you know it's a hustle. So we're always working toward the next job. I feel like you're never going to.
There's never a yes.
There's no real.
Until you no longer have to audition, it becomes like that.
Maybe, but I feel like even then,
Maybe.
like, you're still working on your craft, because the opportunities that you get are gonna always be different. Hopefully, where you're playing different types of roles, different types of characters, where you're constantly having to work.
And constantly also having to prove that you can do something different than you've done before.
Right.
Which I think that's more so you're chasing that opportunity to prove.
Right.
I don't just do this.
Yeah.
I can do this too.
Where you're versatile.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that I think is fantastic, but I don't think we're ever gonna be there. So it's nice to be able to maintain that balance while also continue to work on your craft.
What are some other roles that recently?
You're a mess. She's not gonna do this to me right now.
You're not gonna tell me any of the. I haven't seen you in like a year.
It's been oh my goodness, has it been a
probably? I don't know. I just
It's been a while. It's been a while. But no, we're not gonna talk about me right
You're
now.
not gonna tell me any. Are you serious?
Yeah, off camera. I'll talk off camera. I want to focus this all on you. I want to focus this all on you. I don't want to, in put myself into it.
It takes 2 seconds.
Conversation. No, but we'll talk, and maybe we'll share these things later too. But I'm so glad you came.
Thank you.
Thank you
Again,
so
seriously.
much.
Thank you so much
for joining us and sharing your words of wisdom and giving us all this insight, because I think one of the main things that I'm enjoying about this is being able to tell people that it's possible.
Yeah.
That it takes time and it takes effort, but what's intended for you is for you and it's for no one else.
Right.
So even if you don't get a few, that just means that wasn't the right opportunity.
It wasn't for you. It
Right.
wasn't your opportunity.
Exactly. And so the fact that you're getting all these opportunities, I'm just so happy that it's for you and this is your time. And you're going to continue to grow, as will everyone else who's working on this and who's persistent and consistent. Including me, because yes, I am an actor too. We're all in the same boat, making it work. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Oh, so really, what did you do?
You're so stupid.
Tell me.